Hey guys, so in the last video we saw that I changed the top part of the controller. Had a bit of good difficulty. Now we're going to flip this over and this should be a little bit easier. We're going to change the bottom. And I just so happen to have the bottom part of the controller. Hopefully these things match. Should probably turn the light on. Hopefully it does. I did that. So we have the bottom, which will match up to that. Ooh, that is gorgeous. So guys, now that we've both compared the bottoms of the controller, we're going to remove the screws, the 4 screws at the bottom, and then we'll set them aside into a secure location, and we'll start by prying the base of the controller off. You'll be able to get most of it off. You might need to use a flathead screwdriver. In this case, I use a blade. I don't recommend using a blade. That's just what I typically use. And you just gently pry it apart. It will come apart after you remove the 4 screws, and it'll just pop right off. Now you might have to use your blade and or screwdriver in the front of the controller just to get the last little plastic clips from popping off. And again, just be gentle, go slow, and you won't have any issues. Once we have the controller apart, there's a ribbon cable that we need to disconnect. Gently pull that off, and it'll separate the controller base from the upper portion of the controller. Now this is where the next part of the journey continues. I pull out the plastic piece as you saw there. That easily comes all apart. All those other plastic pieces that just fit in there. And then you just have to undo one single screw to remove the USB port for the controller, to charge the controller. Pretty important. That's also how you sync up to the PlayStation, as you know. So once that's removed, that little board is removed, you can start by placing it into the new base. And again, there's one screw, so we'll put that in first. So this is now the reverse of what we just did. So we put that one screw in, and everything is just hand tight. You don't have to wrench it in there, just nice and gentle. Put it in, tighten it down. Now the next portion of this is to start putting the glass or plastic pieces back in. And everything fits back into place. Very, very simple. Might need to adjust it a little bit just to get it fit, but it will fit. You'll see how easy it comes together. And then the last piece is the plastic. I actually put this in backwards, and I couldn't figure out why. So I end up stepping back. I'm like, oh yeah, flip it around. That's why I've done a close-up here, so you can take a look at it very closely. And so you can see exactly how I've done it to put it all back together. Now I'm just comparing the old base to the new base, and now we're going to install the new base into the controller. This is pretty easy. You just have to push in the one ribbon cable. Once you have that pushed in, and I'm sorry for my hands being in the way, make sure it's in there nice and firm. The next controller I do, I'll make sure that I get a close-up of everything. This is just like first time I've ever done this, so there's lots of newbie mistakes. And once you have the base on, gently snap it all back into place and start by installing the screws. We got 4 screws. We set them aside safely. And again, we'll install each of them, and you just put it to hand tight so everything's nice and snug. And as you're tightening up the screws into the controller, keep the controller plastics held nice and tight together. Not like where you're going to break it, but nice so that when you go to screw everything in, there's no gaps in the controller spaces. Like the 2 pieces of plastic that come together, you want no gaps into that. So make sure everything's all snapped into place, and you're good to go. And I'm looking for the screw right now because misplaced one of them. Dark marble table. That's what happens. And then we're done. So at this point, we show it to the camera in its glory and then get it tested. So here we have the controller completed. Looks pretty snazzy. So as you can see here, guys, controller still works. So we will press the play button, go into Netflix. We'll update later. And that's the controller completed. Anyways, thank you for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.